Hi, this is Cristina,
And Carmen.
and this is another episode of Espooky Tales, the podcast for all things spooky, sometimes true crime. Today, it's just spooky. Someone is sharing scary stories with us, someone in Carmen's life. Do you want to say hi? Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Martha. I work with Carmen. I'm sure she's heard all about my stories, and I guess that's why I'm here. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited.
Me too.
There's nothing I love more than someone's haunted house, because it's not my own, you know? Oh my god, we just sighed at the same time. I love it. Okay, let me let me look for the listener story. One sec. All right, so first, like we always do, we're gonna read a listener story. And if you want to send a story for us to listen to or to read, you can email spookytales@gmail.com. You can DM us on any of the socials. You can submit it on Discord. You can also call the Espooky hotline. I don't know the number, but it is in the show notes. Maybe one day I'll memorize it. I don't think so though. So this one is from the Espooky Hotline, which is very exciting. It's been a while since I've played one. And so let me just hit play here. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Hey, Spooky. I love listening to you guys. I'm a truck driver.
It went away. What happened?
And I just...
Wait, can you hear it?
It
Is it
said
too quiet?
No, it said hi, I love listening, and then I couldn't hear anything after that.
What the hell? I can hear it. Hold on. You know what? I'm going to find a different story.
Okay.
Just kidding, everyone. This is not from the Espooky Hotline. I'm having some issues. Next time, I'll just download it and send it to everyone individually.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to save that for another day. And let me just find a different one. All right. New story.
Okay.
This is from Discord, and you can submit it on Discord if you want. Okay, this is from Don Beto. Hi, guys. I wanted to share a weird experience I had when I was around the age of 7 or 8 years old. The night before, me and my brother were watching scary movies and staying up late. I believe we were watching Jeepers Creepers 2, and I remember being extremely scared of the creeper. Pause. Is his name Jeeper or Creeper?
Actually, I was just going to ask what his
Or
name
is
was.
it Jeepers Creepers
I don't know.
together? I don't know. All right, let me continue. I remember being extremely scared of the creeper. I told my brother I'm going to bed, and so I went to our shared bedroom.
I thought
both
you were
shared a
going to
room.
say shed, and I was like, oh, wait. Are they sleeping in a shed? Which some
I'm
people
sorry,
do, I guess. You know, whatever.
That sounds like you're not allowed
Not
to
super
send children
appropriate
to
to their shed. Okay, their shared bedroom.
take off your CPS hat. Not everyone's sending children to sleep in sheds, Carmen.
And I'm like, well, there's a problem.
Well, there's your problem.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, all right. We shared a room together but had separate beds. I remember that night I walked up the stairs and turned on all the lights in our room, and specifically remember sleeping in my own bed. The next morning, I woke up right outside my parents' door that is across the hall from us, and I woke up in a crisscross position. Oh, like sitting. Like crisscross applesauce?
I was picturing like this.
Oh, like a vampire. All right.
I'm not
We'll
sure.
see.
Weird either way.
Yes. I remember not long after I felt very sore and I lifted my t-shirt up. I had scratches all over my body, especially my back. I'm not too sure what encounter this was, but I made sure to wait for my brother to come to bed too. I've always felt a weird negative presence in that house. We don't live there anymore, but it is a memory that I often think about. I wonder where those scratches came from, and no, I don't have any pets that could have done that to me. Side note, I forgot to add that I also remember that I felt like I was dragged in my sleep. Maybe start with that, Beto. This is how you ended up. Yeah, in the hallway. Oh my God. Oh, and then he added on after because I was like, oh my God, that's terrifying. That's when I replied. And then he said, I want to say a couple of months after that, we had a priest come and bless every room and the whole house. The negative presence seemed to chill out, but I still had weird vibes, especially from our closet.
Yikes.
It's always closets. But also horrifying. I'm glad that the negative presence did chill out though, because
The blessing worked.
imagine like that happening every night. Just you're like in different spots of the house.
You would never get quality sleep.
No, it sounds terrible.
Is that why he had all the scratches? Because he got dragged or what? Like,
I mean, that would explain scratches too, unless the thing was like scratch, and then drag. I don't know, but being dragged also, especially if it's like, I don't know, not carpet.
especially if it's on the out on the shed. I mean, shared bedroom. I don't know.
That'll do it. Okay, but let's hear your haunted house stories. I'm ready. I don't know about anyone else.
I'm ready too.
Okay. just to start off, I should have taken that picture off. Can you guys see it in the background?
Yeah, now that you pointed out, it's scaring me now.
What is it?
Well, let me get it so I can show you. Well,
It's actually my beloved grandmother.
She's
Carmen.
the
Wow.
one haunting me.
no, it's just a picture of Jesus. Like, I don't know.
I can't tell from
Carmen.
here.
Carmen, why were you scared?
But it looks like it's like a 3D thing. It's like whenever he had like the crown and then he looks normal at this side and that side, kind of like things.
Oh, like you can turn it and it looks...
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know. But my parents are very religious. Like, they're Catholic. I don't know if you guys want a background a bit of that.
Yeah,
Like,
give us all the context.
I love backgrounds. Yeah, everything.
okay, so they're Catholic. We were raised Catholic. My dad's younger brother was a priest. He passed away a few years ago, but he's well known in Mexico. So we're all like very like, I mean, I'm looking at a cross here. God's over there. There's a rosary there. Everywhere you go in this house, there's something, right?
Okay.
So I've always felt very safe in this house, except for one time. Well, there's a few times, but I think I caused it, according to my mother. So my parents travel a lot, right? They go to Mexico like every, I don't know. They're probably in Mexico 8 months out of the year. Like they're rarely around here. So whenever they
Sounds
leave,
like a good time.
yeah, it sounds like a good time, except for the fact that I have to come take care of the house, watch it, right?
That does not sound like a good time.
Well, no, because apparently I caused the situation. So I was cleaning the house one day just because my parents were coming. I'm like, oh, it's dusty. I've only come by like to, water the plants and take care of things, right? Pick up the mail, whatever. Long story short, like I cleaned, vacuumed, and then at the end of the day, like after I was done, I opened all the windows and then I decided to do Palo Santo, right? I know. So I did Palo Santo around the house, just like for the smell, not really saying any ritual thing because I don't know any of that, right? Like whatever. I'm just like, oh, I want it to smell good. That's what I do at home, whatever. Nothing ever happens at home. So then I finished the house, smells good, clean. My parents are coming home tomorrow, whatever, right? And like I said, the house always has a good feeling. Anywhere you go, my dad in this room, he prays a lot. So you could kind of feel like peace. There's nothing weird about it. Well, 2 weeks in, they come back. They're happy, whatever. My mom's in her room folding clothes. She can see there's a window in her room and she can see my dad in the yard watering, whatever. And then this room is like right across from my parents' bedroom. And then catty corner, it's the bathroom. So my mom's folding clothes, and then as like she looks up, she sees this young man in his white khaki pants with a white shirt rolled up. And she described him very well. She couldn't see his face, but he just saw him running like somebody ran out of the office into the bathroom. And it took her breath away. She was just like, and she couldn't yell for Miguel, which is my dad.
Válgame Dios.
Yeah. So
that was her.
So she was like,
oh my God.
Miguel, there's a man in the house. And my dad's like, what? So he runs inside. Nobody's here. There was no doors closed or anything like a sign of like somebody leaving, the house. So then she was like, she said that her hair, like, she got the chills. So then she got it automatically out, what happened to the house?
What did you do?
This was 2 weeks after the Palo Santo.
Yes. So that was after the Palo Santo, which I never told them about the Palo Santo.
Oh.
Okay, I did not.
They don't know about the Palo Santo.
They don't even know that I have Palo Santo in the house. Anyway. So then she let it go. She didn't say anything. And then like I came back and then I ended up spending the night. They were here. I spent the night with them. And my mom asked me, she's like, hey, I've been meaning to ask you, like, what did you do to the house? And I'm like, I'm like, what do you mean? What did I do to the house? Like, I cleaned it.
Why did she assume it was like something you did?
Well, I'm always the one to blame for things. So, like, I thought they were gonna like question me about like the plants. Usually I water them, but then it's like, oh, I know you didn't water this one because it's whatever. Anyways, so I'm always something to blame, right? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I water the plants. What are you talking about? Like, I clean. What do you know? There's a weird feeling. The other day, she described the whole like incident, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. What did you bring from Mexico? I try to blame her on that.
I mean, yeah, I would
could be
too.
that.
Yeah, you know what? What if that's what happened?
I'm not blaming you at all, Martha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We absolve you of this fault. It is not yours.
Yeah, and I don't know, guys, because there's other incidents that kind of lead to maybe it was me. Which I am not going to.
Okay, we take it back.
Okay, we'll wait to hear the full story then.
So then we let that go, right? Like I was just like, I don't know, like maybe you brought something over, and my parents don't believe in that. Like my mom kind of does because she's witnessed and I guess she's felt things, but my dad's like, oh, you guys are crazy, you guys are just seeing things, you guys just chill and pray about it. Or my dad will always say, just go pray, it's just God trying to tell you something. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So then they ended up going to Mexico again. Here it is, another month in, and they take off. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what she was talking about. I don't feel anything. So I'm staying home. I have my little white dog. Rest in peace. She's whatever. But I remember she would follow me everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. And then I noticed that, like, whenever I would go to the kitchen and run down the hallway, because I used to walk, not since then. There was just like a heavy presence right by the kitchen.
Oh my God.
Like really heavy. And it just like legit, I would run to the hallway and my dog would just wait for me by my door. She wouldn't even like follow me.
Oh, that's always a bad sign when the dog like stops following you into a room like, oop, I'm not going in there. Like, why? What's in there?
And even like, I'd be like, Tufa, come here. Like, here's a treat. Nope. Bring it to me. I'm not going.
not even for a Scooby snack. Oh no.
No. So she would just come by and like, just sit there and like, nope, not coming. But legit, like the presence was really like creepy. It felt cold. There was one time where I smelled something really, and it wasn't me, guys. It was just really. There was like, I don't know, it was cold, and then there was like this weird smell that I've never like smelled before. Like, but it was very like quick. And so then I was like, oh, that was weird, but whatever, And so then things like that kept happening. And I'm like, Dad, I don't want to stay at the house anymore. It's creepy. Like Mom said that whole situation. So then he had the priest come over, bless it. And then they keep holy water everywhere. So then he just goes around. He's like, you guys are crazy. Let me just do this. A few months later, I came home, and by this time I'm already like, talking to them. They're here. Everybody's here. Mom and Dad are in the room, and I'm talking to them. Hey, I'm home, blah, 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 whatever. I open my door, and legit, at the bed, like at the edge of my bed, I looked, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I don't want to eat, whatever. And I open the door, and boom, there's a lady sitting with khaki pants and a white shirt, not rolled up, but she just had white shirt and curly fucking hair. And I was like,
oh my God.
Like, it scared me. And my mom's like, what did you see? What's wrong? Oh my God. I'm like, like I was scared. And my mom, she's like, see, I told you, we've been seeing things. And my dad says, no, I don't believe you guys. It's just whatever. I'm like, Dad,
I don't know what this we is.
Because my mom, she like later on said that she had been seeing things, but she just thought it was just, how sometimes you look and she's like, no, every time I'm in the kitchen and I turn around, there's something there, but then it's not. So I just like, oh, no.
So you like question yourself.
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, it was nothing. Because that would make me feel better. I'm like, no, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
And I've done that. So yeah, I get it. I would deny everything.
Well, there was no denying about that lady sitting there. So then finally my dad
and that I could not deny.
I was like, oh, that was so clear. She was just waiting like patiently, like just sitting there chilling.
I threw up. Oh my God.
I remember that day, like the dog wouldn't even go in there. So that was creepy. And like that was like the one thing that I was like, oh, whew. And then a few months later, obviously, like my dad got up and he's like, yeah, you said this. So then like he just went and blessed every room. He said some prayer that I was like, oh, look at him. He knows how to pray. Like I never really like listened to like him praying, but he said some really good stuff. And then like that went away. But then.
Okay. But
they left again.
And then you went to the house and you were taking care of it and they weren't there, right?
They weren't there. And so then I didn't do Palo Santo or anything like that. I didn't touch any of that. And I'm like, nope, not doing it. Not going to do it. So then I'm just sitting there on the couch. And so in the living room, when you walk in, there's a living room and then there's a dining room. And then we have a chimney that you can go around like to either area. So there's also a little pathway that can go towards the hallway. So I was just sitting there about to like watch TV, and I had like picked up my phone, like I looked down, and then the dog was already sitting over here, okay? Dog was there, but I felt something right by the chimney, okay? And so the chimney, like when I looked up, like legit, it was just a perfect image. And there's no way that I could have like, oh, it was just me being psycho or just being, I'm tired, exhausted, and I just saw it. No, it wasn't like just a black thing or anything like that. It was two hands like this by the chimney, and then like that, looking at me. But it was a quick sequence.
No.
Yeah.
No. No. I would die.
Look, I ended up calling one of my, like, Kelsey. I called Kelsey on the phone. I was like, Kelsey.
Oh my God.
She probably thought I was crazy, but I was like, oh shit, like that. But I was like super, like, that night I was like, oh, that was an ugly image. It wasn't a sweet lady. I don't know if that she's sweet or not, but she just sat there waiting patiently.
I'm going to assume not. That sounds...
But that's when, like, those two hands, like, peeked over.
That
like,
is so creepy.
Horrifying. Oh.
Yeah.
No.
So there's, like, my mom says that there's good and then bad spirits in the house. And even though, like, you pray and they pray, they constantly tell me I need to go to church. And because it's me. It's not them. It's me. So those are my stories about this house.
It is weird that most of it was when you were there or after you were there. So I'm starting to believe them, actually. You know?
I don't know that the Palo Santo would cause something like that, because I've always heard of it like as a cleansing thing.
Exactly.
Unless it brought on like the good spirits. I don't know.
And now they're
But
fighting.
I felt good about that from what you said.
Nothing was good about that. But I have heard people that will like use either Palo Santo, and there's one more that people use, isn't there? I don't remember the name.
Is it the English word for Palo Santo?
You know what? You're probably right. I don't know.
Sage? Is it the
Oh yeah,
sage, right? But
that's what I was. Yeah.
so I discovered. Well, I mean, I didn't discover, but like I was told. I always thought there was sage was just one type of sage, but then there's white sage, and then there's like this sage, and every sage brings something different, or whatever. It does something different. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know, because I don't, I just like the smell of it. But apparently, like,
yeah,
you have to know how to do it, otherwise.
So maybe it was that
sage here. I've only done Palo Santo.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and I've heard stories. I just can't remember like which one, but like people using these things and not knowing, and then like accidentally, inviting things in, or like something in the house that maybe was there and it just never let itself be known. Suddenly, it didn't like the smell, or it didn't like this thing that was like not done before, and so now they start showing themselves.
Yeah, it was just me, because I mean, this is not my first time I've dealt with any of this.
Well, let's hear the rest.
Yeah.
So it didn't happen at this house, like I said. So I was hanging out with this friend who was a hangout house, right? Like as adults, I was in my 20s, late 20s. Late 20s. So we were over there hanging out. I knocked on the door. Hey, I'm here hanging out, like whatever. And so, like, I thought I heard one of our friends say, come in. And so I walked in. We usually like, nah, come in, and like whatever, everybody chills. Somebody's at the room playing video games. Somebody's over there doing something else. Somebody's in the garage. Somebody welcomed me in. So I walk in and I'm like, yo, like, where's everybody? And then I heard somebody in the garage. So then she comes out. She's like, oh my God, you're here. And I'm like, yeah, I told you I was coming over or whatever. She's like, oh, okay, it's cool. I'm like, yeah, who's all here? She's like, just me. And I'm like, what do you mean just you? Who's the one that let me in? And then she's all, are you all right? Like,
what do you mean? Oh my God.
And I'm all, dude, I heard somebody say come in. So I just come in. I came in, and so like,
somebody said it. Somebody said come in. I came in.
So I came in. So then, okay, whatever. And then she's like, whatever. Anyways, so I followed her to the room. And as I'm going to the room, following her, poof, like something pushed me into the wall. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like,
and did she see it?
Yeah, she's like, are you all right? And I'm like, dude, somebody just pushed me. And then she's all, and then she just like didn't say anything to me, right? And I'm like, what's wrong with me? Like, I'm like looking around, did I trip, whatever. And then she's all like, here, let me put my clothes away, blah, blah, blah. What do you want to do? She started talking, right? And then I'm like, dude, what was that?
You're like,
She's like, we're moving on. And you're like, no, what happened?
I'm like, so are you sure we're the only ones here? And then she's like, dude, like, yes. Okay, I have a confession. And I'm like, what's your confession?
What do you mean?
And then she's all like, okay, so I'm here by myself, and the boys are like our friends that used to come over and like whatever, right? They used to just hang out. Like I said, everybody would hang out at the house. And she's all, well, the boys have said that there is like some type of presence here, but I think it's just mom. And I'm like, who's mom? And then she's all, oh, Junior's mom passed away.
Oh, you don't know?
And he has I let him keep her ashes here. And I'm all, so what? Like, what does that mean? She's like, well, she's been doing things. She's like, can you please stop it, Anne? Anne, can you stop it? I'm like, are you on something? Like, who are you talking to?
You're like, oh my.
But she let me
so I guess
in.
Anne didn't like you.
No, but I mean, she welcomed
Just to push
me in.
you.
Yeah. She was welcoming.
To push you.
She's like, I don't know who you are and I don't like you. Bam.
That's horrifying.
But I felt that. I felt it. So it was kind of like, that was nice, interesting. Like, I never forget that touch. That was not a fun touch.
Christina's
No.
been pushed
No,
by
I'm
something too. Well, it wasn't really like a push, more like they pulled the chair out from under you or something like that.
And it was
Yes.
No, I was on the other side.
No. Yeah, her and my brother were sitting like across from me, and I've told the story, but I'm gonna say it again because it's always fun. So we were in our dad had a trailer behind his shop where he works, and we were sitting there, and my brother, he has always said he sees like shadows and stuff, and we always made fun of him for it. And after that day I stopped because I was making fun of him, and I was like, oh, are the shadows here? And I was like pretending to hit the quote unquote shadows, and then he was like, they don't like it when you laugh at them. And I was like, what the fuck? What the hell? Who the fuck's like, what are you, bitch? Like, what do you mean? And then he was like, or no, okay, so then right after that, my chair like was pulled out from under me and I fell on my ass. And
then we all ran away from...
No. Before we ran, he said, see, they don't like it.
Oh, that's
and then
right.
I was like, no, my mess away. And then we ran to our dad, and then he was like, whatever. I don't even remember what he said. He's like, oh, they can't hurt you. I'm like, they hurt my butt. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I've already been hurt. I fell. So yeah. Well, you too, Carmen. You have also been touched.
Yeah, I think it was our great grandmother who slapped my butt.
Yeah.
Because we were just sitting, or I was waiting outside. I don't know. I was outside with my mom, and I just felt like my ass being slapped. And then I looked around, and there was nobody around. And then I was like, Mom, someone just slapped my butt. And she was like, oh, it was probably, and we call her Mi Vela. And she was like, it was probably Mi Vela. She used to love slapping girls' butts. And I was like, okay.
That actually does not make me feel better, but okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't remember feeling scared. I kind of was just like accepting it for whatever reason.
Oh, okay. We were better than me because I would have thrown up.
Yeah, she's so dramatic. It's really the worst.
Actually, this reminds me of another story that just happened. Carmen?
That was not a real haunting, though. Were you talking about the hotel? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Do you want to tell everyone what happened?
Yeah. Okay. So it was not actually a real haunting. It was really just Cristina exaggerating. And then somebody got hurt because of her exaggeration. We were at the hotel with our other podcast friends. The AC kicked on, but I didn't make the connection about the AC kicking on, and the door nomás estaba como emparejada, just ajar. And the AC kicked on and the door opened a little bit. And so then I'm like, did that door just open? And then Cristina just yelled. And she was sitting next to me, and then she like yelled, and then she tried to leave, like to run away. So she like bumped into me, and I was like, ah. And then she scared the girl that was in front of us. I forgot what the name we were going to use for her in the story. So whatever. She was in front of us, and maybe it was Allison or something like that. I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, so then she got so scared. She yelled. She tried to run, and then she fell onto the ground. And I guess she already had like knee issues. So she fell and she hit her knee. But then the funny thing was that she was dragging herself on the floor. And just the sight of that, like, we couldn't stop laughing. And she was like dragging herself to get her knee brace, but for whatever reason she didn't ask for help. She was just like dragging herself along the ground, and that is not the story of a real haunting. So
No, that was all of my doing.
Yeah.
And I am sorry. I forgot the fake name we were going to use. I can't remember.
I feel like Allison.
Yeah,
So,
okay. I'm
Allison,
sorry,
so sorry
Allison.
for your knee.
Yeah.
Although I have nothing to apologize for.
And Carmen, I'm also sorry for hurting you and pushing you out of the way when I thought there was a ghost in the closet.
So, Carmen, you're not safe with your sister then.
No.
No,
She's gonna
unfortunately, we have learned that I would push her over in a real haunting. And I insist that she comes places with me that are haunted, allegedly.
Yeah, like she wants to go do these like paranormal investigations and stuff. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, do you remember how you reacted?
But that was before I reacted this way, so I'm
true.
thinking it over now.
You
yeah.
should.
Yeah, I am.
Well, Martha, have you always seen stuff, like even as a kid, or no?
Yeah, that's the only, like, my mom says, like, now, like, she never told me until, like, I asked her, like, hey, why do I sense things? Like, I'm very, like, sensitive to things. And I don't know. My dad thinks I'm just crazy because I'm different than everybody in the house. Anyway, so I don't know. Like, when I was younger in the house in Mexico, like, I remember when it was being built, there was voices that, like, would happen in the upstairs room. And my mom witnessed it once, she said, but my dad tried to, like, explain things to her that it was the echoes from the neighbors. I'm all, Dad, we have brick. Like, there is no echoes from anybody neighbor. Like, there's no neighbors. We can't hear what they're talking about. We don't have windows. I mean, we do have windows now with the neighbor. Like, we kind of have our house connected to the neighbors. But, like, at the same time, it's like, no, back then it wasn't. There was nothing. Just things like that. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm very sensitive to stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like people who see stuff, they're like born that way or something.
Yeah, but there's, like, I don't know, certain things that just, you can't explain them. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like, even sometimes I'm like, no, I did not see that. Did I? You know what I mean? But it's just like that chimney thing was the worst one, though.
That is terrifying.
That was, like, legit, that scared me because I saw it, like, perfectly imaged. You know what I mean? Like, there was no, like, oh, it's a shadow, or it's this, or it was a quick thing, or it was just like, oh, the lady sitting there. Yeah, it was.
That's like the stuff of horror movies. Just that, like, creepy stare. There's nothing worse than that.
Well, yeah, that was the reason I wanted Martha on the podcast, because one day, Martha, I don't even know if she was there, but my supervisor, for whatever reason, was telling Martha stories. And then she reenacted that, and she scared me.
Oh, no. Yeah, I can imagine your reaction.
She, like, put her hands, just like Martha did, like this. She went like that.
She was behind. Do you have cubicles or no?
She was behind the cubicle.
Oh, okay. So she's
like,
behind the cubicle. Just like
the whole, yeah. And then she made this face like... And I screamed because I was so scared. So I exaggerated that day, disturbed everyone's work day,
Yeah, of course. Normal things.
Yeah.
Carmen things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That is horrifying. Yeah. That's I would never recover. So that you're still with us here today is amazing. And I thank you for coming on.
Yeah. Survivor.
Thanks for having me, guys. Like, I haven't even, like, seen any of your guys' podcasts. And
oh, thank you for telling us that.
Carmen. No, it's okay. I forgive you, unlike Carmen.
no, but I feel like I will start watching them, like, and listening to them because they're interesting. I don't think I'll watch myself because it's just blah.
No, you should.
But
You should. It's fun. I love watching myself. I'll stop. I'll watch my TikTok videos again after I post them, and then our YouTube videos, I watch them, and then I listen to it, and I'm like, what's wrong with me?
It's the Leo.
Am I obsessed with myself a little bit? Not too much, though. Like an okay amount.
An appropriate amount, right?
Of course. All right. Well, I guess this wraps up the episode since Martha forgot the other story. So.
Thank you, Martha.
Thank you. The story's, like, kind of long, so it is just like, whatever. But
it's long, so then you can come back.
Yeah, it has to.
Is that what we're hearing?
If I get an invite,
you're invited back.
As long as you remember the story, then yeah.
It is. It has to do with, like, Mexico and, like, just animals, and it's creepy. But yeah.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'm excited. My child finally left, so I can talk again. All right. Well, we always do spooky recommendations at the end of every episode, where you can share any spooky media that you have been enjoying. So Who wants to go first?
Martha's recommendation is her house. It's herself, actually. Anywhere she goes, she'll experience something.
You guys, I don't even like watching scary movies. Like, I will not watch scary movies. I feel like it'll...
So herself, okay.
The spooky recommendation is Martha.
Yeah, come by, check me out. I am featuring Mantica. No. Oh my god, I don't watch anything like that scary. Like, but I want to listen to stuff to hear like what's the scariest stuff you guys have heard from somebody though.
That freaking story.
That door, or that chimney, that thing you just shared right now.
That was terrifying.
I'm gonna take a picture of where I was sitting, and then I'll send it to you, Carmen, so you can see.
Okay.
Watch the picture have something in it when you snap
little
it.
hands like this.
You zoom in and there they are. Oh no, no, thank you.
Yeah, that was terrifying. Besides that, I feel like our mom's haunted story.
that is the
so
most
scary.
Yeah, that's so I can't even. I have not been able to finish the end of or hear the whole thing, especially when sitting, because then I'm like, no man, no, Yahweh, yeah. That's me when I'm hearing her story. Like, please stop. And then she's like, no, okay, no, isn't this what you wanted? Isn't this what you asked for?
Yeah.
That's how that goes usually. Well, I'm trying to see if she'll come on and it can be maybe our first Spanish episode, just her telling us this story from beginning to end. We'll see though if she agrees. I'm hoping. I think we'll see if I can handle it without screaming, of course.
Yeah, that'll be the real challenge.
That without crying, screaming, crying, throwing up. Yeah.
So Carmen, you tolerate it more than your sister?
I mean, sort of.
Not that well either.
Yeah, no. Like,
we're just a bunch of weenies.
We went to a what was it? Oh, like an old theater in Portland. Me and Cristina, and then we were like recording because Cristina was trying to tell me like scary stuff that happened there, like ghosts and sightings and whatnot. And supposedly in this hallway that we were walking, there's like a woman that whispers or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, in the hallway, people have felt her touching them.
Right. But she
it's
started
in the theater when she whispers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And she started telling me this, and I was like, no, don't tell me. And I ran to the end of the hall, and I was like, okay, now you can tell me. So I mean, I don't really. I like hearing it sometimes, but if I'm there and it happened there, like if I was next to you, Martha, in your house, and you were telling me about your stories in your house, I would have left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't want to come visit? I mean, I'll invite you guys over for tea. Halloween on Halloween?
Let's do it, Carmen.
No thanks. We'll do a seance.
Yeah, we'll hold a seance.
Her mom's gonna kick us out.
No, my parents can't be here because they behave when they're here.
Oh,
right.
It's only when you're there.
Martha is the problem. Remember,
Right?
She's the cause.
Yeah. We have determined she is at fault.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Carmen, do you have any spooky recommendations?
No.
Did you finish that book?
Oh, I did. I finished. So last episode, I talked about She Is a Haunting. It was called, and I finished it. It was good. 10 out of 10. I recommend it. Very spooky. I went on Goodreads to read other people's reviews, and people were saying it was like too slow for them. I didn't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I placed a hold on it, so I'm still waiting for that book.
And then I started reading the other one. Oh, The Eyes Are the Best Part. And this is more like serial killer-ish than spookiness. I'm a little over halfway. It's also pretty good, but it's like they're kind of gross.
Oh, like gory.
Yeah. Like eyeball stuff, because it's called The Eyes Are the Best Part.
Right. And does she eat them?
Eyeball soup? Oh.
Yeah. She eats the eyes. She has like a compulsion to want to eat eyes.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I'm excited for that one too. I also placed a hold.
Mm-hmm.
It is like a 12-week wait.
Oh, wow.
And that's okay. And I don't have any spooky recommendations. Sorry, you can hear my child. I'm still traumatized by the movie that I watched, so I haven't watched anything scary. When Evil Lurks, horrifying. And I did also listen to 2 podcasts that recap the movie after I watched it, because I always do that. Uy, qué horror. Or I guess they say uy, qué horror, don't they? I never know.
I haven't listened to it, I don't think.
I listen to it all the time, and I never remember how they pronounce it. So Uy Que Horror did an episode on it, and then so did Girl That's Scary, and they're both great episodes if you like recap things that recap things after you've watched them, which I am obsessed. I love it. So I recommend those episodes, I guess. Other than that, I've been reading Our Migrant Souls and Crying in the Bathroom. So nothing scary, just Latinx things, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. I guess now we are officially at the end. All right. Anyone have anything to say before we bid our adieus?
No. I don't like the way you said that.
I know you. I knew you were gonna say that. Okay. After we say bye.
Okay.
Fine.
No, I
I'll
don't
say
think
the
I
no.
have anything to add other than don't visit Martha.
I mean, come by. No, I'll share one of my stories and then you can see if it's worthy of coming back, Carmen, at work.
I'm sure it will be, but okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be too.
Okay, I'll just tell you real quick. I know you're gonna cut it.
No, we're gonna leave it in.
Well, maybe I'll leave it in now.
No, check it out. Like, real quick. I used to work with kids back in the day, right? We used to have to restrain if they would get out of control, right? There was like some certain things that, like, I guess kids would, obviously they had, I guess, behaviors. Long story short, I'm sitting there, this boy, maybe he was like between 7 and 9, very little, young kid, very strong though when he used to get upset. So we would have to hold him. So, and he was one of my favorites because when he was good, right? But he would hear voices sometimes and he would say, the voices are telling me to do this. And we're like, oh, okay, whatever, like, let's keep an eye on him, whatever. So then things would get, he would escalate, right? Like, and then here we go, hold. So this one time, he had destroyed the whole entire room. He had, like, living room, his room. He had gone around, like, just out of control. And so we ended up holding him. I was holding him. And believe it or not, I pray. It's just, I'm just not all bad.
I believe it.
So I'm holding him, and then I'm just like, okay, like, he was just like spitting, like yelling, like profanity, and just like really just out of control, like he was hard to hold. And I'm just like holding him, and then I'm not saying anything. We're not supposed to say anything during the hold. I'm just in my head quietly, like not saying a word. No words came out. And I'm like, please God, like, calm him down, like, please, like, this is a lot. Like, I'm like rocking over here because he's just like trying to like headbutt and whatever, right? And I'm like, please God. And then all of a sudden he stops. Don't pray for me, bitch.
Oh my God. He read your mind?
He just like looked at me. He's like, don't pray for me, bitch. But it was just like,
This sounds like from The Exorcism.
She was too stunned to speak.
no, I was just like, oh my God, like, I need help. Somebody needs to like take over because
Somebody save me.
Oh my
like,
God.
this kid's like my favorite kid, but like, what just happened?
But he's possessed.
But that was just like very weird and like,
Wow.
and then I'm like, well, he knows that we pray at, you know what I mean, at meals.
Yeah,
Right.
So
yeah.
I'm like trying to like make, I'm sure that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Another question. Yeah.
It gets more high pitched. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Wow.
I've done that too to somebody else, and it's just like, but it was really creepy, just the way like it went so like calm, and then like his voice was weird, and then like he told me not to pray, and I'm like, how the fuck does he know I was praying? Like,
That's certainly very strange. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I never saw
wow.
this kid the same again. It was sad.
Man. Wow.
But the voice.
That's staying in. I'm horrified.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't know. I mean, it scared me that day, but then I was like, okay.
It scared me today.
So yeah, that was it. That was my story. That was my only like encounter with a real live person, not like
Wow.
shadows and.
Right. No, it's certainly, yeah. I mean, it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, very.
It was weird.
Like you could explain it away how you said, but it's weird.
It was weird. It just like the timing was perfect, and I was like, oh shit, okay. God help me. Somebody please take over because I can't.
Wow. Okay. I must end this. My own child has scared me now. Okay. So, thank you again for coming on and spending your evening telling us your scary stories. It was great.
Yeah,
I had
so
a
much
great
fun. Me too.
Yeah, so fun. Hopefully you had fun too.
I did. Thanks for having me. It was
I
definitely.
was gonna say, you can't say that you didn't. Not to our faces. We can't.
You can't
handle
say that you didn't have fun. Yeah, not in front of us.
I did. No, I had a good time.
Or I will go cry. No.
No, I had a great time, guys. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. And everyone else, I don't know, don't have a chimney in your house, or don't invite Martha. Either one. No.
Wow. Thanks a lot. That's why your supervisor doesn't invite me over to her house.
Oh my God, it's already happening. All right, Carmen, do you want to say bye for me? Like,
thanks
say
everyone
spooky?
for listening. Remember, don't invite Martha anywhere and stay spooky. Bye.
Bye.